Hello, everyone. So, with this video is going to be something different because I've been hearing a lot of people talk about this Project 2025. You can go all over TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, wherever, and find out information. But what we are finding is people interpretations of what they have read or their interpretations off of based on what somebody else have said. So I'm like, why don't I just put the manuscript out there? It's free for everyone. You can download it, you can read it yourself. It's over 900 pages. But in 2024, who really reads anymore? Me. But besides me, who really reads anymore? So I'm gonna put it out here for you. I'm gonna be reading some portions of it. I'm gonna have AI read some portions of it, and some portions are not going to be read. Like the contributors, the authors, editors, all that stuff. I will not be reading that. Excuse me. I will be reading the acknowledgments, preface, other stuff like that, intro, and then going down into the four pillars. But this project 2025, what I have read so far, and I'm not going to even lie, I only read like the first 30 pages of it. I don't see anything wrong with it. And, so many people would talk down on things maybe because their interest is not being made to the forefront. Because as a person of color, our interest has never been made to the forefront, and nobody speaks out about it. Nobody says, oh, well, black people getting, or people of color getting less than others. That's not right. We need to do something about that. You don't hear anybody speak out about stuff that does not necessarily affect them in their household. So by all these people speaking out, it makes me want to do my own research and look into it to see what this Project 2025 mandate for leadership, the conservative promise, is all about. On this on this page, you can see who the authors are. And go on, you can see who the authors are. But me and AI will be reading this to you. So I hope you enjoy. And I'm going to be breaking it down. So this is the first video, and I will come with other videos following. I'll probably do chapter by chapter. Um, we'll see. But I am going to have this full manuscript book read, hopefully by, I'll say, June. I'm sorry, this is June. By July 24th. Give myself 1 month. I'm writing that down. 1 month, I'm going to have all of this uploaded and I will have read it to myself. And then we can come back and discuss, what is Project 2025? Is it to hurt us? Is it for us? Like, let's make our own conclusion. So many times, us as people of color, we allow other people to make decisions for us based on what they feel is right. And we see where we are today. So let's make our own decisions and see if this is right or wrong. Let's stop going off of other people's rhetoric. Let's make our own rhetoric. So enjoy.
This work, Mandate for Leadership 2025. The Conservative Promise is a collective effort of hundreds of volunteers who have banded together in the spirit of advancing positive change for America. Our work is by no means the comprehensive compendium of conservative policies, nor is our group the exclusive cadre of conservative thinkers. The ideas expressed in this volume are not necessarily shared by all. What unites us is the drive to make our country better. First and foremost, we thank the chapter authors and contributors who gave so freely of their time in service of their country. We were particularly grateful to have the help of dedicated members of the Heritage Foundation's management and policy teams. Executive Vice President Derek Morgan, Chief of Staff Wesley Coopersmith, Associate Director of Project 2025, Spencer Chrétien, and Thomas A. Rowe Institute for Economic Policy Studies. Director Paul Ray devoted a significant amount of their valuable time to reviewing and editing the lengthy manuscript and provided expert advice and insight. The job of transforming the work of dozens of authors and hundreds of contributors into a cohesive manuscript fell upon Heritage's formidable team of editors, led by Director of Research Editors Therese Pennefather, Senior Editor William T. Poole, Marla Hess, Jessica Lowther, Karina Rollins, and Kathleen Scaturo, without whose tireless efforts you would not be reading these words. The talented.
Most important, we are grateful to the leadership, supporters, and donors of each of the Project 2025 Advisory Board member organizations and those of the Heritage Foundation, without whom Project 2025 would not be possible.
We want you. The 2025 Presidential Transition Project is the conservative movement's unified effort to be ready for the next conservative administration to govern at 12 noon, January 20th, 2025. Welcome to the mission. By opening this book, you are now a part of it. Indeed, one set of eyes reading these passages will be those of the 47th President of the United States, and we hope every other reader will join in making the incoming administration a success. History teaches that a president's power to implement an agenda is at its apex during the administration's opening days. To execute requires a well-conceived, coordinated, unified plan and a trained and committed cadre of personnel to implement it. In recent election cycles, presidential candidates normally began transition planning in the late spring of election year, or even after the party. In the winter of 1980, the fledgling Heritage Foundation handed to President-elect Ronald Reagan the inaugural mandate for leadership. This collective work by conservative thought leaders and former government hands, most of whom were not part of Heritage, set out policy prescriptions, agency by agency, for the incoming president. The book literally put the conservative movement and Reagan on the same page, and the revolution that followed might never have been, save for this band of committed and volunteer activists. With this volume, we have gone back to the future, and then some. Mandate for Leadership, the Conservative Promise. It's not 1980. In 2023, the game has changed. The long march of cultural Marxism through our institutions has come to pass. The federal government is a behemoth, weaponized against American citizens and conservative values, with freedom and liberty under siege as never before. The task at hand to reverse this tide and restore our republic to its original moorings is too great for any one conservative policy shop to spearhead. It requires the collective action of our movement. With the quickening approach of January 2025, we have 2 years and one chance to get it right. Project 2025 is more than 50 and growing of the nation's leading conservative organizations, joining forces to prepare and seize the day. The axiom goes, personnel is policy, and we need a new generation of Americans to answer the call and come to serve. This book is functionally an invitation for you, the reader, Mr. Smith, Mrs. Smith, and Ms. Smith, to come to Washington or support those who can. Our goal is to assemble an army of aligned, vetted, trained, and prepared conservatives to go to work on day one to deconstruct the administrative state. Pillar 3 is the Presidential Administration Academy, an online educational system taught by experts from our coalition. For the newcomer, This will explain how the government functions and how to function in government. For the experienced, we will host in-person seminars with advanced training and set the bar for what is expected of senior leadership. In Pillar 4, the playbook, we are forming agency teams and drafting transition plans to move out upon the President's utterance of, "So help me God." As Americans living at the approach of our nation's 250th birthday, we have been given much. As conservatives, we are as much required to steward this precious heritage for the next generation. On behalf of our coalition partners, we thank you and invite you to come join with us at project2025.org. Paul Dance Director, Project 2025.
Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, y'all. Period. She said it.